The blue whale, the largest animal to have ever existed. Each whale can grow up to 100 feet in length and weigh up to about 180 tons. These peaceful animals have roamed the waters for millions of years. But since the mid-20th century, commercial whaling has brought the blue whale population to the brink of extinction. Luckily, with the efforts of governments worldwide, the blue whale population is still endangered, but is increasing once again.
These giants are part of the rorqual family, consisting of the largest group of baleen whales. Baleen whales have tails or flukes that move up and down, unlike other marine animals. This is because their spines are capable of moving vertically but not horizontally. Baleen whales also have grooves that run along the ventral side of its body, stretching from the throat all the way down to its midsection. Its relatives, the minke whale, bird's whale, and sea whale, all share similar characteristics. The blue whale population is found in the marine biome, but is most prominent in two main areas, both polar zones and the Indian Ocean. In the northern hemisphere, pods of blue whales are often found off the coast of Iceland and Norway. Meanwhile, the whales in the Indian Ocean are most abundant near the west coast of Australia and the southern Indian Ocean. The blue whale population in the southern hemisphere stay mostly around the coast of Antarctica, where swarms of krill often gather, but during winter these pods migrate north towards the warmer waters. Similarly, the northern hemisphere whales migrate south down towards the equator.
Unlike fish, whales can't breathe underwater. They have human-like lungs to help them breathe when they swim to the surface of the ocean. However, the lungs of a blue whale are much bigger and more efficient. Humans can only exchange 10 to 15% of the oxygen they breathe in, while whales can exchange up to 90%. This allows them to stay underwater for much longer. Blue whales can stay up to an hour underwater without returning to the surface. While sleeping, whales keep half of their brain on and one eye open to detect predators and to know when to surface for air. They can switch each side on and off so both sides get some rest. Another important adaptation is their excellent hearing. Because sound travels faster in water than in air, whales can hear other whales from miles away. This is helpful because they can locate lost members of a pod and hear mating calls. Even the size of a blue whale is an important adaptation. Most predators won't attack blue whales because it would take too long to take down, and just be a waste of time and energy. Blue whales also sometimes travel in pods or small groups to fend off predators together.
During the winter months, whales will travel thousands of miles from their feeding grounds into the tropics, where the climate is much warmer to mate. During the strenuous voyages, whales will fast and use up the blubber it gained from the feeding season. To attract females, males will sing at very low frequencies, which is why humans cannot hear them. Usually, the lowest pitched males will be the largest, so they are the ones females look for. It is unclear how blue whales reproduce because there has never been sightings. Biologists assume that it occurs very quickly, in a minute or two. After birth, the calf is 23 feet long and weighs 5,000 to 6,000 pounds. It will stay with its mother for about another year, where it will learn skills needed for survival. Its mother's milk can contain up to 50% fat, so calves can gain 250 pounds a day to grow very fast. Fun fact, the penis of a blue whale is hidden in the genital slit until sexual reproduction in order to protect the sex organ from any injuries. The whale penis, fully erect, can measure up to 10 feet in length and around 1 foot in diameter. The testes are relatively large and can weigh up to 150 pounds per testicle. When mating, blue whales ejaculate around 40 gallons of sperm, but only 10% of it enters the female. Wait a second, where does the other 90% go? No one knows. Hey you! Blue whales eat a lot. And more specifically, they eat around 4 tons of krill every single day to stay alive. Wow! By consuming 40 million krill, Blue whales help maintain krill population and keep them from overpopulating the ocean. Although blue whales have the lowest population of all the animals that eat krill, they still do the most impact. Blue whale poop contains a lot of nutrients, and when it floats up to the surface, it gives food to phytoplankton, and through photosynthesis, it lowers the carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere. Fun fact! When a whale dies, its body falls to the bottom of the ocean. This is called a whale fall. So creative, right? One whale is enough to create a whole ecosystem for many animals around it. The whale attracts animals like hagfish, sharks, lobsters, and even shrimp. These animals can survive up to a whole year, living off the flesh, blubber, and even the skeleton of the whale.
Oh hi, didn't see you there. Did you know blue whales are both endothermic and homeothermic, which means that they are capable of producing internal heat and have relatively stable conditions. Heat loss in water is 27 times greater than that on land. Thus, the blue whale must adapt to the cold temperature to maintain metabolic activity and homeostasis. Over time, blue whales have developed a thick layer of fat called blubber under their tough skin. Blubber can grow up to 15 inches thick. Not only does blubber serve as protection for inner organs, it also acts like a thermal insulator. Because blue whales don't have any hair, skin, or glands for insulation, they rely on their blubber to keep warm. You're here again? No way! Did you know food can become a problem for the whales? Because despite its enormous size, blue whales rely on small krill to provide them with all the nutrients a good whale needs. In order to maximize the intake of krills, blue whales have developed a special technique. Mentioned earlier, blue whales and all other baleen whales have grooves that run along the ventral side of its body. These grooves allow their throat to expand to almost twice its size. Each gulp of water weighs as much as the whale itself and contains 1 million calories worth of krill. That's as many calories as the average human eats in over half a year. The whale then pushes the excess water out of its mouth with its tongue through its baleen, or the bristles that line its upper jaw. The baleen lets out all the water but keeps the krill. Yay!
Despite nature giving all animals many adaptations through natural selection to help them survive in a dangerous and changing world, nothing could prepare them for possibly the biggest disturbance in the history of Earth. Humans. After inhabiting the oceans for millions of years, blue whales were finally met with a problem no amount of adapting could solve. During the mid-19th century, whalers drove the blue whale population to near extinction for their blubber, which was used to make oil, which could be used to power lamps, lubricate machinery, make soap, cosmetics, leather, wax for candles, and even as cooking oil. Whale meat was also a delicacy in some places.
Even though the blue whale is already the largest animal on the planet, they still aren't stopping. Studies have shown that blue whales are still increasing in size. Currently, land mammals are shrinking because the bigger ones can't hide and will get hunted to extinction. Luckily, in the water that is not a problem. Blue whales also have an abundant food source and little competition, so it can eat as much as it needs to. Finally, there are many advantages to growing larger, including scaring away predators, storing more energy, and traveling faster. Unfortunately, some of the whale's characteristics don't help them thrive in a world of humans. For example, unlike smaller animals, the blue whale reproduces only once in about every 3 years, and they only give birth to one calf at a time. Because of this slow reproduction, they can't reproduce as fast as they are hunted, and their population decreases. This is why, many years after whaling stopped, the blue whale population is still endangered. In 1996, after whaling had almost killed off all the blue whales, the IWC, or International Whaling Commission, was formed to regulate the whaling in member countries. They issue quotas for each country to make sure not too many whales are killed each year. It currently has 87 countries, and so far it has done well in regulating whaling in those countries. But countries who refuse to join, such as Japan, have killed many whales because they are not bound by the same rules as everyone else. Because whaling is now a much smaller problem than it used to be, blue whales might be able to continue evolving naturally with minimal external disturbances. If that happens, they will probably, like they currently are, grow even bigger. Maybe millions of years later, if they aren't extinct, blue whales will be at the limit of how large a mammal can grow. If they do go extinct, there will be many consequences for the ocean ecosystem. First, it is one of the biggest consumers of krill, and without them, krill populations would explode and possibly steal nutrients from other animals, choking out many other species. Their poop, which also brings nutrients to the surface again, will be gone, depriving phytoplankton at the surface from deep-sea nutrients. There will be no more whale falls supporting whole ecosystems at the bottom of the ocean. All in all, it would be really bad.
Well, I guess that is it. Where you put this in the bloopers?
So tired, and you guys aren't.
Come on.
When a blue whale dies, its body falls to the body.
Falls to the body.
Oh hi! Didn't see you there. Blue whales are both endothermic and homeothermic. They have a thick layer of fat underneath the skin to insulate the internal organs from the environment. They use counter-current exchange in their veins and arteries to keep blood heated between the systems. This is how blue whales thermoregulate.